You can call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.
Gabriel Bonfim takes on Khaos Williams this Saturday on the preliminary card of UFC Fight Night, Rodrigues versus Cannonier. And I'm not a huge fan of this fight, not because it's going to be boring or I don't like these fighters. I think it's going to be very exciting. I think it's going to be a very chaotic fight. I just don't like it because these two guys are very highly touted prospects. I feel like they have bright divisions in the future of the UFC. And I just hate to see that one of them has to lose and be knocked down a few pegs. I don't like this matchmaking where they put two rising stars against each other. I feel like you should be building them separately, but then again, I'm not a fight promoter. But Gabriel Bonfim, brother of Ismail Bonfim, who's also fighting on this card. Both these guys, very good fighters, kind of climbing up the rankings in their respective divisions together, usually fight on the same cards. Bonfim's 27, 6'1", 72.5 reach, fighting at welterweight. He was originally supposed to fight Rinat Fakhratinov, which would have been a good fight. Rinat, coming off of a robbery over Carlos Leal, was absolutely gifted that win, but huge winning streak for him. So it would have been a really good test for Gabriel Bonfim. He's coming off of a win over Angelusa, decision win. Looked okay in that fight. Definitely won, but was getting controlled on the ground. Was looking a little iffy at the beginning of that fight. But before that, Nicholas Dalby was having a really good performance against Nicholas Dalby. Landing strikes and kind of working his game, but then his cardio kind of started to suffer, and once he couldn't get his takedowns, Dalby just kind of took over there and started beating him up and TKO'd him. So kind of a wake-up call for him in terms of his cardio. So he didn't look like he was suffering his cardio with Angelusa, so hopefully he's kind of learned from that and closed that gap in his game. But very dynamic striker, great knees against Angelusa, very good kicks, leg kicks, very good combinations, not afraid to kind of stand in the pocket and take one to give one, but usually pretty defensively sound outside of the Dalby fight where he was just getting tired. So Trevin Giles got the guillotine choke against him real quick. Same with Munir Lazez, got the guillotine choke against him. Trey Waters got a Von Flue choke. So very, very good jiu-jitsu black belt, him and his brother. Very good jiu-jitsu. Likes to jump the guillotine a lot, even though it doesn't seem to work very often, but he seems to make it work. He's got 2 fights, 2 wins in the UFC against really good guys with it. So Khaos Williams, another thing I don't like about this fight is the fact that he burst into the UFC with some really quick knockouts, ran into Michel Pereira, lost a decision to him, but beats Semmelsberger, knocks out Baeza, loses a split decision to Randy Brown, which is nothing to nothing to criticize him about. Randy Brown's a good fighter. Split decision with Rolando Bedoya that he wins, and then he flatlines Carlston Harris. So I feel like he's got a lot of potential. I think he's starting to take his career seriously, and so him taking this fight on such short notice against such a dangerous opponent, it's like, why, dude? Like, why are you taking such a big risk? You're coming off of a big win. You're only 30 years old. Like, let's get full training camps in and take on not young, surging up-and-comers that the UFC is trying to build. So Khaos Williams, like I said, 30 years old, 6 foot, 77-inch reach, which is just crazy. He's going to have a 4.5 reach advantage over Gabriel Bonfim, but I'm going to go with Bonfim. I think he's the more well-rounded fighter. I don't think he carries the same knockout power that Khaos Williams does. I don't know if really anybody does in that division, but he's obviously had the full training camp. He was training to fight somebody like Rinat, who's going to be able to strike and who's going to be looking for takedowns. So now Bonfim's going to be going against a guy who's really just looking to strike. And I think Bonfim is good enough to land his shots and stay safe on the feet and win the fight that way if he wants to, because I do think he's more dynamic than Khaos Williams and just more technical. Khaos is more of just a brawler with punches, whereas Bonfim, he'll use everything on the feet, but I also think he's got a drastic advantage on the ground. And so I can see him taking his time, mixing in his takedowns with his striking, eventually wearing out Khaos Williams, who's taking this on short notice and shooting in on takedowns and getting the submission. I think he's going to come out of the gate hard like he always does, but I do feel like he's a smart, high IQ fighter who's not just going to stand there with Khaos and try and prove a point. He's going to take the path of least resistance, which is wear out the guy who took the fight on short notice, who doesn't have a very good grappling or jiu-jitsu game, and tap him out. And that's what I think happens. I think Bonfim will probably get the sub second or third round. He is willing to trade though, and you'll see him stand in the pocket and throw. He's usually pretty responsible and not getting hit. But, you know, Khaos Williams, tons of power, very fast, throws really straight punches like we saw against the, who was it? Abdul Razak Al Hassan, just threw a crazy, powerful, straight right hand down the pipe, followed up with another crazy fast left hand that didn't land. But if it did, he probably would have been carted out of the octagon that time too. But I do think Bonfim gets this one done, takes his time, doesn't get into trouble, doesn't put himself in any danger during this fight, and works his takedowns to get Khaos Williams out of there by sub. And if he doesn't get the sub, I think he'll get a decision over him. But let me know what you guys think. The odds are Bonfim -225, so not terrible. Really not terrible odds, since he's very good and highly touted, taking a guy coming in on short notice. But I do think he'll get this one done. So let me know what you guys think. If you think Khaos Williams is going to get that one-hitter quitter underdog win, but I just don't think he does in this fight. So thanks, guys.